this countryside. Can't beat this. Absolutely wonderful countryside. Scattered with farms and isolated houses. That's what it's all about. Uphill and down dale. Well, we got here and it's 5 to 12, so I won't be in the water until I reckon about 1:15. But as you can see, lovely rural countryside. And the church is quite different, not a very large spire on it or anything like that, but absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you where we're going. Right, this is where I launched before, just by the side there in the reeds, and I paddled downstream, which was quite nice. Now I'm wondering this time if I can manage to paddle upstream, because the last time I tried this, upstream was completely impassable with all the lilies. But of course we're a little bit later in the season now, so I might try to go upstream. Worth a try. Let's have a look. Right, this is the picture upstream. As you can see, there's plenty of lilies and they're still flowering, but it's passable. As you see, it's navigable, so I should be able to paddle up there without too much problem, and at least I'll be able to see what it's like. Always like going a way that I've never been before. Wind is quite strong today. I reckon that it's sort of gusting up to about 15 miles an hour, and where it's open I might even be able to use the sail. We'll see how we go. I love this, when you can see the little fish. I don't know if you can see them under there. I don't know if you can, but I can see them. And of course you've got all the pond skaters on there as well. That's amazing, isn't it? All the lilies that are here. Fascinating. But there's some little fish down there which shows that there's some interesting life in this wonderful canal. And with the sun out and the wind on me back, should be really nice. Right, I'm going to see if I can give you a bit of history on this. I'm going to read this. The main drain, which is what this is. The air and the waters of the Romney Marsh are both foul and fatal, declared Edward Hassel in the late 18th century. Indeed, the Romney Marsh was described as one of the most unhealthy and sickly places in the whole of Kent. The closure of New Romney's port and the Black Death ruined the area's prosperity, and the land was neglected. Stagnant water lay in the ditches, an evil stench hung in the air, and disease was rife. Malaria harassed the marsh people, keeping the population low and the death rate high. In 1804, as Napoleon threatened to attack, Lieutenant Colonel Brown of the Royal Staff Corps had the idea of a Royal Military Canal. He envisaged a canal that would not only defend the country, but serve as a major drainage and irrigation system that would greatly improve the conditions on the Romney Marsh. And that's what it's there for. How it would have stopped Napoleon is another thing, but still interesting, don't you think? Just so you can see, if you park by the bridge, which we're right by there, you just carry the kayak down to the side here and launch at the shallow edge. Shouldn't be any problems for launching. We haven't had any rain here for quite some considerable time, but it doesn't seem to have affected the water level dramatically. So simple parking over the gate there, short carry and launch. Bit later than I wanted to get off, but I'm actually launched. So after all the fluffing about and God knows what else, we're here. So now we're going to go upstream and see what it's like up there. As you can see, quite a stiff breeze coming down here. Look at the ripples on the canal. going a different way to what I did before. There's always two trips on one launch point, and that's upriver and downriver. So don't forget, if you've been to one place once, next time you get there, have a look what's the other way. Always good fun. Right. Well, got a lovely day. It's about 22 degrees. It's way above what it should be at this time of year, but absolutely glorious. So it was an ideal day to get the kayak out. Yesterday I took the model planes out, and it was a little bit windy yesterday, but nothing like today, so at least I played that right. You will notice, Thomas, I got me shades. I've taken them off this time to do the filming so I don't catch them and lose them in the river, because my other Polaroid sunglasses are at the bottom of the Great Stour being used by the fish there, which I'm not too happy about, to be quite honest. But anyway, peaceful, no noise, of course, except the noise that I'm making here. Noise in the trees, not much scenery, because it's a canal, of course, you've got quite high banks, but nevertheless it's still lovely to see. Anyway, I will keep you posted on what's happening as we go along. The water is remarkably clear again, and you've got so much fauna here compared with what I've seen before. It really is quite amazing. All these lily pads, and they're still flowering, and they're quite small flowers here. Not like the Medway where they're more cupped. These flowers are much more delicate, and also the actual leaves themselves are much smaller. Amazing. A couple of interesting observations. It's quite interesting to note that on one side of the canal, trees are planted at regular intervals. I don't know if it's something that goes back a long time or whatever. They're all different types of trees as well, not just one type. And I can't believe that the farmers have done this in the past. I'd be very, very surprised if they had. So how old they are, I don't know. But they're all planted at regular intervals, and there's not many gaps like there is there. The other factor is that you would be hard pushed to find any kind of motorboat coming up here. I would think it's deathly quiet, and an ideal source therefore for either a canoe or a kayak, especially for a first time out. This would be ideal. It's not moving water. If it is, it's very, very slow, as long of course you didn't come out when it was after a heavy rain or something like that. So an ideal place to actually get the kayak or the canoe out for the first time. I'm sure you'd enjoy it. Looks like it's closing up a little bit later up there, if you notice. I hope that the lilies don't strangle the canal. And also some of these pond skaters, which is what I call them, they're lunatics. I tell you, they're so fast, it's unbelievable. And some of them are like kamikaze pilots. When they decide that they want to go in front of the kayak, oh my goodness, do they go? They're flat out, and they're going faster than I am, and they really do skate along the water. Sometimes you see them take off, but the majority of time you don't. It's quite stunning, really. Fantastic insect life. Shame I can't show you really, but they are there in their thousands. Right, as you can see, this is almost all covered with lilies and this sort of strange weed that forms into balls. I've not seen it before. The wind's quite strong, as you can see with the waves on the surface there, and this is the first bridge that I've come to. So I don't know how much further I can continue like this, but I will try, and I'll just dip my paddle in the top surface of the water, and that way I won't get hooked up. I must show you these balls. That's because it's what they are. Look, they're like balls of, if I can lift them out, look, they're like balls of weed. I've not seen that before. It's quite strange really, but they're all like little balls. Can you see? Very, very strange, very unusual. And what I was saying about it being an ideal place to try out a kayak, of course the other thing is it can't be that deep either, because the lilies, to spread right across like this, they can't grow from ridiculous depths, so it shows that it's relatively shallow. But I would say that by the bridge there that I launched from is the better option. This seems to be more overgrown, this end. But anyway, let's see what it's got to offer. Well, prove me wrong. There lies Maisie. How the hell could you get a boat to come up here? My goodness, with all this weed and everything, an outboard would last 10 seconds. So how the hell this got up here, I will never know. It's obviously an ex-sailor, but you'd have had to have had an outboard to get this up here. Amazing. I certainly did not expect to see this. That's quite a surprise. I've just gone under the first bridge, so I'll give you an idea where we are. You could launch around here actually, a bit harder from the bank because the reeds are both sides, so it's not as easy. And of course you've got all this wonderful goo everywhere, which you've got to try to overcome. But nevertheless it's different, so I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to say bye bye Maisie. Look at this for a motorway. Can you see them? Look, there we go, look at them all, look, there you go. Can you see them? I'm getting blown back by the wind here. It's so strong. Amazing creatures. Look at that. They're everywhere. Dancing about on the water. And then if you disturb them too much, they just all dive and go down. The only majestic one I've seen so far. Look at that. That is really beautiful. A few of them. These are domestic lilies, the pink lilies. You don't expect to find them here. Well, but here they are. The wind is very strong. I would say it's somewhere in the region of sort of 15 to 20 miles an hour. Not easy to paddle against, and I've been through some really bad weeds and lilies right across the river, so it hasn't made it very easy paddling at all. So the other way is definitely easier than going so-called upstream. No idea where I am as yet, but perhaps I'll find out a bit further along. Every now and again it opens up like this, but then the going gets very hard with all the weed and everything that blocks your path. But still very nice, as you can see. So I'm still not complaining. Let's take these off. Oh. When I come back, I'll reverse my hat, and as you can see the sun's in my face now, but when I start on my way back I'll reverse the hat round, and of course the peak has a very useful job because it protects the back of my neck, and it can be quite uncomfortable after a while when you've been paddling and you've got the sun on the back of your neck, and a decent hat is something that you need. I'm not saying it's decent. It depends what you call decent, but it suits me, and I can turn it round so that it protects the back of my neck. So there you go. Well, what do I think so far? Well, it's different, it's interesting, it's quiet, and I've seen a Spitfire. So somebody obviously was in a ride, or else the pilot was having a good time. It was a long way away, so I couldn't film it, but definitely a Spitfire. You can't mistake those wings, and he did a very nice loop. So somebody had paid a lot of money for that. I know they give rides somewhere down here, so somebody's had a very enjoyable birthday. Right, I did say that every now and again it kept closing up, and as you can see I'm in the weed now. I'm gonna keep going through it, but in a canoe of course this would be fine, because the canoe you just push the paddle down, bring it through the water and the weed and then lift it up again, so it doesn't stick to it like it does with a paddle on a kayak, where you go to lift it up and of course you've got the stuff all over the top, so you have to keep the paddling very shallow so that you don't hook up all the stuff, but of course that makes a difference to the speed that you can go. Right, it's going to open up again in a moment so we can start getting moving again, but you can see what it's like up here. And the date by the way is something I haven't said. I think it's about the 8th or 9th of September, so might be earlier in the year or later in the year would be a better option, because of course there would be less weed here and lilies, so that is a point to bear in mind. But you can see that the wind is quite strong here at the moment, but I have got an advantage because I can use the sail on the way back, and that will be much easier for me. In fact, in this wind I shouldn't think I will have to paddle hardly at all. I'll just have to use the paddle to steer. So bringing the sail is going to be an advantage. It just goes to show that you can use them with no problem on inland waterways, if you're lazy, that is, like me. Right, not sure where we are, but including the first bridge that we came under after we launched, this is the third bridge now, so we're the third bridge up the river, and there's a pillbox on the right hand side which must give some idea of where we are when I look it up on Google Earth. This looks like a road bridge anyway. As you can see, it's getting very hard to navigate now. The weed, lilies and everything else getting quite thick, but I'm still persevering, I'm still making headway, and as long as I can I'll keep going, rather than explore somewhere else where I've already done. I'm not too keen on going the other way, especially now because I'm about an hour and 15 minutes into the journey and I'm still moving. See some fish popping up every now and again. That's what the boiling water is, if you like, in front of the kayak every now and again. But a few dragonflies belting about, which is very nice to see. But it looks like it's going to open out a little bit up here, so that'll be nice. Might be it's the wind that's pushed a lot of the weed down here. So once I get through the bridge, might be it'll be a bit clearer for a little while. Not sure where we are. Certainly no traffic, so very, very rural again. So all I've got for company is water beetles and pond skaters, dragonflies and birds. Wonderful. got something in the distance down there, I don't know what it is. But it's been relatively slow progress. Since we cleared the other bridge, we haven't had much weed, so I can only think that the wind's blowing it down the channel and it's sort of piled it up there, because it's relatively free here. So that's been good news really. So we're still doing all right. We're still covering the distance, slow but sure. Bird life, I haven't seen a lot. I've seen some kestrels getting upset by crows, or should it be the other way round. I've seen some woodpeckers, not seen any kingfishers at all, so it might be there's not many around here, although there's plenty of little fish for them, so I would have thought they would be here, but for some unknown reason I have not seen any. Still nice to have the canal all to your own, without any messing about, or without anybody at all going up and down in boats. There we go, got a couple of duckies over here. They're in the shade there. Oh look, there's quite a few of them, look. There we go, I've disturbed them a little bit. Alright little fellas, I'm not going to upset you. There you go. There we go, they're coming out into the main river now. There we go. They look like mum, dad and a little brood that's made it through. They're making better headway than me. I don't know. Okay mum, you keep them safe. I won't bother you anymore. Look at the wind on this water. I'm really getting hammered here. Crumbs! This is a little bit terrifying. This is, every now and again you get a squall come up. And my goodness, it must be sort of 22 mile an hour. And it really whips it up, and my goodness, it makes it a lot harder to paddle in this. There you go, here it comes. Hey! Woo! Ah. Well, that's keeping me fit. Dear oh dear, now one of the ducks have stopped paddling and just resting in all the weed there. Can't blame them. And it's so strong, it's even blowing the lily pads up. If you can see in front of us there, they are folded backwards. And it takes a fair amount of wind to lift them out of the water like that. Ah. Never mind, I'll be alright going back with a sail. Oh, I'll be going a fair rate of knots. Running adjacent to a field here which has got a combine harvester in it, and you can see all the grain that's been dumped in the hopper there. Another one down there and another one on a tractor. Well, it's still staying open. I've got a funny feeling the wind has got something to do with that, because it soon stops me and takes me backwards, so it must be doing the same thing to a lot of this weed. But I've got still a long way to go, so it looks quite good. As you see, I've stopped already. Amazing, it really is. And these little fellas, look at them skating around there, look. Look at that, I'm just getting blown back so fast it's untrue. Coming up to the 4th road bridge here, which is a lot more busy, and I've got another major road that I can see in the distance there, with the cars travelling up and down, and that one down there looks quite busy. I don't know where I am, but you can actually put in the river here too. You see these stones, but not ideal, but you could put in there. No doubt there's parking up there, but you've got to be careful because you could be blocking a farm gate. So there you go. He seems to find me interesting. No other bugger does. Oh dear. But there we are, there's a major road down there. You can just see the cars going across. We'll have a look down there as I approach the road. I've got an audience! Woohoo! Hiya fellas. As you can see, we're coming up to a major road here. A lot of traffic using this one, so it must be an A road. So, no idea where we are, but we're coming up. This is 2 hours into the journey now, and as you can see, the progress is very, very slow at this moment in time because of all the weed. So it's making it really hard going. I don't know how much further I can go. Sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's been bad, but what the hell is a day out in the sun? So let's try and get under here and see what the next section's like. But this is definitely an A road, quite busy. Right, since the road that we've crossed over, it's becoming almost an impossibility now. As you can see, I'm hardly moving, and it's just great big clumps now, and I'm having a really, really, really hard time. I'm just pushing against loads of weed that's going down a fair depth, and no doubt this will soon drop down once the light level drops. But I'm virtually getting nowhere. I've got the rudder part up so that it doesn't catch on anything, but this is becoming very, very hard indeed, and I don't think I can go a lot further, although I am going to try a little bit longer. I'll try and make it an outward run for 3 hours or thereabouts. No, better not do that fast, but this is 2.5. No, half past 1. This is 2. Might be 2.5 hours. But this is starting to get a pain now. It's not enjoyable. So I might be calling it a day and going back by sail shortly. I think I'll have some sandwiches first, and then after that I'll go back, because I can't see me getting any further. There looks no opening in this at all. So not only am I paddling against the wind, which is making it hard, but I've got this complete mass of floating plant, which is making it almost impossible. So I think I'll go over there and go into the weeds and have something to eat now. Okay. Right, I'm pretty well stuck in the weeds now, not going anywhere. The wind isn't blowing me along. I'm just upstream from the major road, whatever that is. So I think it's time for a bite to eat and a drink, and then after that I think I will set off back. But anyway, time is 2:35, so I haven't done bad, but I think you will agree that if you see what I've come through, really since I just got started to get to that bridge, I think you can see why I'm giving up. Well, there's the bridge, just downstream a little bit, and it's quite busy. It's obviously some kind of A road because it's got plenty of traffic going over it. But I've just had my lunch and I'll be setting off downstream. Once I clear that bridge, it'll be a bit easier, and I'm going to put the sail up on the way back because it's going to make life so much easier to get back. It really is. The wind is quite strong, as you can see on the poplar tree there. I think it's sort of 20 plus, definitely, no problem at all. It's about sort of between 20 and 24 it is at the moment, because we're quite open here. But it's been an experience and it's been interesting. So let's have a look and see what the journey back holds. So there we go. just using the sail now. You can see how fast we're going. Not doing bad. Beats paddling. Power of sail. Power sail. Told you we go fast going home. There we go, we're still going along by sail. So we're not doing bad at all. We're going about walking speed. So we're not doing bad at all. I knew it'd be easy on the way back, but I never realised that we'd end up going so fast. Oh, we're really moving now. Hey! Almost like being on the sea. Ah. Straight over all this rubbish, look at that. Whee, straight over. And that slows you down a lot normally. Well, I have to say that with the sailor, I've done no paddling on the return journey at all. It's now 3:25 and we're still moving along quite rapidly, certainly as fast as I can paddle, and sometimes even faster. So as far as I'm concerned, all I have to do is put in paddle strokes to correct my course. It would be nice to have a rudder, I must admit. Leaning over doesn't do it too well, but using the sail to steer does give me some steerage, but not ideal. not ideal. But the power in the sail is amazing. For such a small craft as this, it slides through the water very, very easily. So you don't exactly need much of a sail area. And I suppose this really, I don't think you would find that it's even a square metre really. I don't think it is, but the amount of draft or amount of speed that you can get off of this is quite amazing, and it still keeps the kayak stable, which is important, because obviously a kayak, you start hitting it on the side and that, you know, and you've got a problem with the stability, but with this you haven't. If the wind comes from a different direction, it just folds. The only way it stays in a sail form is when I've got hold of the lines here and it's pulling against me. As soon as anything else happens, it collapses, which is a good safety feature. But anyway, as you can see, I'm making quite neat progress here. Can't complain at all. And still getting a chance to see all the sights. Lovely! Don't know if I can hold this and do this at the same time, but as you can see, I've got my sail up, wrap it up sail, and we're just poodling along with the wind. It's very difficult to hold this and take film at the same time, but I'll try. We're not doing bad. We're just poodling along quite nicely, as you can see. We're making quite good headway, bearing in mind that that's all we've got is the wind. That's all we're using. This is costing me no energy whatsoever. And I'm not hanging about, am I really? No, not really at all. Quite fast, there we go, look. See everything going by. No, it's not a speedboat. How about that? Way up. And of course this doesn't exactly make it any easier. When you've got all this rubbish in there, it slows you down a hell of a lot. But it's doing quite well. As I say, it's only a dinky little sail. It's not very very large at all. But it tends to work quite well. And it makes it a bit more relaxing on the way back. But I can't do too much filming because you can't hold the camera, steer the sail and make corrective paddles at the same time. So this is, while it's a little bit gentler, I can make the video and keep control of the kayak as well. But honest, if you're considering getting a sail, have a go at one of these rapid up sail is the one that I use, and you fold it in a hula hoop like an 8 on the deck, and it's very quick to put up and to take down, so I would certainly recommend it, and it's very safe too. But there you go. Anyway, homeward trip, we're not far off now, so that'll be nice to get this all back on the car. And another different journey done. We're back, it's 4:10, and the wind really did help with the sail, which I've now got folded up on the front now, so we've made very good time thanks to the wind, which has been quite strong. Anyway, I hope you've liked it. I've enjoyed it, so a bit of fun for both of us. Till next time, bye.